And we are live. Greetings, everyone, to our dear nurses and medical technologists in the Philippines. Good evening. If you're from the Middle East, good afternoon. But if you're from the Americas, good morning. We are back here at AMN Academy. This is Irvin Temporal, and together with me is Coach Brian Martin Shawson, and we are 9.09er Review Center for IELTS, OET, PTE, and other English examinations. It feels so liberating that in 2022, CGFNS allowed our dear nurses and medical technologists to choose their type of English examination or their preferred English examination to secure their visa screen. And since then, we saw the skyrocketing popularity of PTE. That's why for tonight, we're going to talk about PTE, everything and anything that you need to know about PTE. First, let's ask Sir Brian to greet our audience for tonight.
Hello to everyone, and thank you so much for attending our session for today. I hope that this will be an insightful lesson, especially for those of you who are planning to take the PTE. And we are going to be heavily focused on the speaking subtest today. So I hope that you'll enjoy this and go ahead and share this with your friends as well if you have friends who might also want to learn more about the PTE. Go ahead and invite them. This is going to be a useful session for you guys. I'm very certain. And let's have fun learning tonight.
Great. Thank you so much, Coach Brian. And we'd like to announce that for tonight, we're going to give away a free AI powered mock examination access to PTE. I'm sure you are looking for affordable PTE AI powered mock examinations. But why pay when you can have it for free? Because for tonight, we're going to identify a lucky winner who is going to enjoy our PTE AI powered mock examination. How do we pick the winner? We usually pick from the most active live viewers on Facebook. So first, let us know who among you here are from the Philippines, and let us know your preferred, let us know your current location in the Philippines. After the Philippines, that's when we ask our overseas attendees to mention their location. Let's take a look at the comment section. So, okay. Ella is from the Philippines. Fernanda is from Brazil. Benvindo, Brazil. Shabir Khan is from Pakistan. Grace is joining us tonight from the Philippines. Rachel, Rosemary, are from the Philippines, while Catherine is from Saudi Arabia. Santos is also from the Philippines. Okay. Specifically, M. Navarro is from Tagaytay. If you're coming from Tagaytay, the nearest PTE testing center is Makati. So in the Philippines, there are 4 cities where you can take the PTE. 1, Makati City. Your options are Misnet, Ace Testing Hub, and Trident Tower. If you are from the northern part of the Philippines, there's Baguio. If you're from the Visayas, PTE Testing Center is in Cebu. Whereas if you're from Mindanao, PTE Testing Center is in Davao. Now, if you come from other places, I am sorry, but you have to travel all the way to these four key cities where PTE examination is available. Now, let's take a look at the locations of our other live attendees. Okay, Carmel is from the Philippines. Bletchy is from Taguig. Good for you, Bletchy, because all you have to do is to cross from Taguig to Makati. We have Edna all the way from Dubai. Ella from Laguna needs to travel to Makati to take the PTE examination. Who else do we have here? We have Daniel from Ghana. Good afternoon to you over there in Ghana, Africa. Says Juan Collado, comes from Cagayan Valley. So if you're planning to take PTE, you're going to take the 12-hour bus ride going to Makati, or if you want, you can take the plane going to Makati. That's just an hour ride from Tuguegarao. We also have Imanga from Zambia. Lima, just tag her friend. And then Carmel is fortunate because she lives in Cebu, where PTE examination is available via ACE Testing Hub. Lois is from Surigao, but from Surigao, your 2 options are go to Cebu or go to Davao to take your PTE examination. Anthony is from Jeddah, JB is from Qatar, Almond Barola is from Oriental Mindoro, so you have to take the ferry going to Batangas and travel from Batangas to Metro Manila. So again, if you're from the Philippines, how much is the PTE? 230 US dollars. Now, if you look at the charge of Visa and MasterCard, that's roughly 13,100 pesos. But 9.09er and AMN have good news for you. You can take the PTE Pearson Test of English in the Philippines for a discounted fee of only 12,300 pesos. Imagine you get to save as much as 800 pesos. All you have to do is to send us a private message that's 9.09er English, or you can also send us an email by sending an email to training at nineronlinereview.com for you to enjoy the discounted PTE examination fee of 12,300 pesos. By the way, this offer, discounted PTE exam fee, is for all the candidates who are going to take to take the examination in the Philippines, even if you are not enrolled at Niner. But what if you have not started anything with your process going to America? You are in the right place because AMN Healthcare International is going to take care of you as you prepare for your journey going to the United States. The best part, AMN offers free scholarship for your preferred English examination, not just the actual exam, but the review as well. So, before we are going to begin our PTE session with Coach Brian, will you please use the comment section and will you please tell us which particular subtest in PTE do you find most challenging? So, we've promised that for tonight, we're going to tackle PTE, but there are four subtests, right? Listening, reading, writing, speaking. Of the four, which one do you find challenging? So that Sir Brian and I can share some tips on how you can make sure that you're going to pass PTE on your first attempt. Let's take a look at the comments of our live viewers. Should they have an opinion which particular subtest they find most challenging? So M here tells us it's speaking. Grace, speaking and reading. Grace finds writing challenging. Victoria, speaking. Bletchy, speaking. Edna, speaking. Ella, speaking. So I guess the prepared presentation of Sir Brian for tonight is appropriate because we're going to focus on the speaking subtest. And there is no other more credible person to talk about the speaking subtest. Here is the PTE demigod, Sir Brian Martin Shawson, who got perfect 90 over 90, not just in speaking, but in all components of PTE. Name it, perfect 90 over 90 in speaking, perfect 90 over 90 in writing, perfect 90 over 90 in reading, perfect 90 over 90 in listening, and perfect 90 over 90 overall band score. So Coach Brian, how did you do it? Did you get 90 over 90, not just in the speaking part, but the overall band score? Sir Brian?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. And I guess a lot of people are interested to know how to get a good score in the PTE. And my only tip for you is to get familiar with the test formats and how you are going to be scored per component. It is very crucial that you know exactly what kind of examination you're taking because the PTE is a different ball game altogether. It is important that you are familiar not only with how the examination is going to go, but also how you're going to be scored and what will give you the best marks in the exam. And hopefully today we'll be able to discuss that a bit.
Perhaps we can start with our presentation, Sir Brian. Let's take it away. A lot of people find speaking challenging, maybe because there are plenty of tasks. So, what are these types of questions in PTE speaking, and what are we supposed to do in order to make sure that we are able to get the required band score, especially for the subtest that matters the most for our US bound nurses and medical technologists?
Okay, right. So I guess this is the perfect opportunity for us to start talking about the different parts of your examination. And perhaps I'm going to go and share my screen a bit because I need to share my sound. So just a moment as I do that right now and share my tab. Okay, so firstly, you are going to be given certain types of questions in the PTE. One of the questions that you're going to get in the test is your read aloud, and then you have your repeat sentence. We also have describe image, And we have retell lecture. And finally, towards the end of your examination, you're going to have answer short questions. And these are different exams that will have different weights as well and different impacts to your test scoring. We're going to talk about that in a few. Let's get started first with what we call read aloud. Read aloud is one of the most popular types of questions in the PTE, and one of those that really attracts a lot of candidates to take the PTE because it is rather simple. And at least for a great majority of candidates, they find this a little bit easier compared to other examinations. Um, let's take a look at this example right here. You're going to be given something like this. So on top, you're going to see the instructions. It says that you have to recite this, or talk and read aloud all of this text, and you're going to be given a few seconds, like in this case it's 40 seconds. You're going to be given different timings depending on the length of your passage. And all you need to do basically is to read this aloud. Like, recite everything. You have some preparation time before the recording starts, and then you just have to basically read aloud. So it's super easy to do this part of the examination. It doesn't involve any kind of hassle whatsoever. All right, so probably we'll give some of you guys the opportunity to read aloud on your own because I can't hear you from Facebook. So go ahead and try this out on your own, and hopefully my audio will work or something. Go ahead, guys, and start reading on your own first.
So, guys, while you are reading, 9.09er and AMN have good news for you. 9.09er has a PTE AI powered mock examinations. So, if you'd like to practice on your own, and there's artificial intelligence that's going to evaluate your performance if you are ready to take the actual examination, why don't you send us a message? Because we offer the most affordable PTE AI powered mock exams in the world. Dare to compare. We know that we are the most affordable because in Philippine pesos, that's just roughly 750 pesos per month. We already checked how much the others charge for their subscription, and we can confidently tell you we offer the most affordable AI powered mock exams in the world. I guess that is enough time for our readers to look at the text that we have here in front of us. Sir Brian, will you please show them how to read this aloud?
All right, guys, I don't know if my recording will play, but let's try anyway. Let's see if it's gonna work. If it doesn't, then I'll read it aloud on my own. Okay, so let's go. Oops, it doesn't work. So I'll just play it from here. If it doesn't work, let me know if you can hear, guys. All right. So I can't seem to play it. So I'm just gonna be the one to read this out loud. So it's gonna be easy. I don't know if it's gonna work on the other part of the yeah. So this one, let's see if it's gonna work from here. No, it doesn't. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to be the one to read it because we don't have audio. So let's read. Okay. It's very important that when you're reading, you're not just reading in a very flat kind of intonation. So even if it's just read aloud, you have to put a little bit of inflection there and emphasize certain keywords. For example, here, forever young is actually placed in a pair of quotation marks. So it is very important that you take your time to pronounce that. So let's start reading this out loud. Once most animals reach adulthood, they stop growing. In contrast, even plants that are thousands of years old continue to grow new needles, add new wood, and produce cones and new flowers, almost as if parts of their bodies remained forever young. The secrets of plant growth are regions of tissue that can produce cells that later develop into specialized tissues. So that's kind of how you want to read this out loud so that you get the really, really high score in the PT. It's actually rather simple, one of the easiest types of questions you'll ever get for PTE. but you also have to train your inflection and your tone and the way you read things so that you'll get a higher mark in the test. Don't attempt to read too fast, okay? Because in doing so, you will sound a little garbled, like you're eating your words or something. You have to make sure that you sound clear when you read this passage. Okay, right. So that's how you do it, guys. All right. I'm sorry, my recordings are not playing, but anyway, let's carry on. Not sure what's going on, but let's carry on. Okay, so another type of question that you're going to get in your exam is there are a lot of comments here, people saying amazing, thank you, and Anne is asking me to repeat the entire thing. No, that's just for one go. There's no replay. Okay, so we have another type of question, which is repeat sentence. I am not sure if I can do this, but I guess I can. I'm just going to probably have a few of our recordings play. Yeah, if I can do that. Uh, Let me just very quickly shift to my settings tab, and I'm going to play a few of the recordings for you. Okay, just hold on a second.
So
Okay.
while Sir Brian is doing the technical stuff, let me just remind our dear nurses and medical technologists, if you're going to the United States of America, what's the required band score for PTE? 55 overall band score. And for each subtest, it has to be 50 and better. And PTE, by the way, is a purely computer delivered examination, no paper based version. And you cannot take PTE at home. That's why you have to go all the way to the testing facility. In the case of the Philippines, Makati, Baguio, Cebu, and Davao for you to take your actual PTE exam. And yes, no human intervention in PTE. There is no person you're going to talk to. It's basically just you and yourself and the computer plus the microphone. Okay, Sir Brian?
Okay, so I'm just going to play it from my microphone so that you can guys hear um, the recordings. Okay, let's start with the first one. Okay, so listen and try to repeat on your own, and then later I'm going to tell you what the answer is. Okay, let's start with this one.
Our office hours are from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays to Fridays.
Did you guys hear that? Hopefully,
Yes.
yes. Okay, guys, so what is the answer? And you can type the answer if you want, and let's do it like right from dictation, because this is also very close to how it's going to happen when you take the right from dictation part of your exam. So here you're going to have to blurt out the sentence. In the right from dictation, you're going to type out the entire thing. Okay? So the correct answer is, and let me repeat the recording for you.
Our office hours are from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays to Fridays.
So the answer is our office hours are from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. And I hope you guys got that one right. Let's try one more, shall we? Let's do one more. So another one.
Do you want to add ketchup or mustard to your burger?
Sometimes the accent gets in the way, right? Yeah. So the correct answer is, do you want to add ketchup or mustard to your burger? Yeah. And by the way, guys, another tip that I can give you for repeat sentences, sometimes it is impossible for you to repeat everything correctly, but you have to give it your best effort. So I'm seeing here, oh, where we're looking at eggs here, we're looking at ketchup, we're looking at all of the ingredients in the burger. That's fine. So have confidence in repeating as many words as you can. You don't have to be 100% accurate. Just give it your best effort, because if you don't speak, what grade do you get? 0. So if you just skip it, move on to the next item, you don't get any point at all. And you end up flunking your examination because you don't get any grade. There's nothing to assess, not even your pronunciation, not even your oral fluency. If there's nothing to be recorded in your response. So make sure that you try your best to repeat as many words as you can. Don't mind if you can't get everything perfectly. You don't always have to be a perfectionist. So if you didn't get a few words, go.
Coach Brian, I have a question. I've heard from some Maritesses on social media that the secret in PTE speaking is to make your voice so loud. What can you say about this one?
That's a good question, sir, because a lot of people do that, especially to um, compete with a lot of other candidates inside the room. And they feel like, oh, if I have the most dominant voice, I'm going to stick out. But the truth is, if you speak so loudly, what happens is that your voice will be recorded in a kind of extremely distorted way. So don't shout. You have to use a well modulated voice. So it's false, okay? Don't take the exam as if you're waging war or something, because this is not a competition. You just have to speak clearly to the microphone. And the best measure as to whether you can be heard in the microphone is during the microphone test. So if you can't hear yourself during the microphone test, then you have to increase your voice. No, this is not the best advice not to draw the microphone close to your mouth. Don't do that. The microphone is set that way for a purpose, for a reason, so that nothing will be garbled or distorted in the recording. So keep it like that. So if you can't hear yourself, you have to increase your volume of voice, but not to the point that you're already sounding as if you're totally distorted in the microphone and you're getting a little off the bar already in the recording. Okay, so now let's look at the answers. Okay, so ketchup and mustard, yeah, that's good. All right, so I just have a couple of samples for this part of the examination. So anyway, let us move on to the next slide. Okay, so we are done with repeat sentence. Let's jump into one of your favorites. Describe image. So what is describe image? Basically, this is very similar to a lot of other English tests that have describe image sections. So it is very familiar. You will be presented an image or a graph or a chart or a map, and you have to describe that, but in PTE only for 40 seconds. Okay. Now, I said 40 seconds because that's really, really very critical, guys. I mean, you can't talk beyond 40 seconds because one of the most important elements of the describe image section is your ability to be able to cite a conclusion. And if you're not able to do that, then you get severe deductions for the content side of your described image. Henceforth, it is very critical that you fit everything into 40 seconds. But that doesn't mean that I conform with, I'm not sure, Sir Irvin, if you've heard this, the advice that candidates only talk for 10 to 15 seconds up to a maximum of 20. Um, uh, don't do that because you're limiting yourself from speaking, you're limiting the computer from assessing you. Don't ever do that. Now, some people actually give that advice to just, say a few words and that's it. Don't do that in the test. So if I were to do the test, I would probably get to roughly 30 seconds, like three-fourths of the bar before I stop talking, and not like, during the first one-fourth of the bar. Okay. Yeah. So let me show you what this looks like. Look at this. All right, so I'll give you some time, guys, to go and describe this on your own. Actually, you have time first. Like in this case, it has 25 seconds time interval before you start speaking. So go ahead and do that, prepare, and then try to do this on your own, guys, and describe the image.
By the way, we have 220 live viewers on Facebook. So please tag your friends if they want to attend the live and interactive version. Yes, there is also a recorded version of this one that's ready for you to watch anytime, anywhere, as long as you have internet connection. It's just that you have no chance of winning the free access to AI powered mock tests for PTE. That's why Tell your friends to watch because by the end of our Facebook live session, we're going to identify that lucky winner who's going home with a free access to 9.09ers AI powered mock examinations. What do? Use the comment section every so often, tag your friends because that's the only way for you to catch our attention. So, Sir Brian, maybe they are finished looking at the image that is there in front of them.
Okay, so I actually have a recording for this one, but I would rather just describe it on my own because the recording is not working fabulously tonight. So, what you need to do when you're describing an image is to, number one, plan for what you're going to say. Number two, plan for what you're going to put at the end as your conclusion. And you can see here very clearly that this is about gorilla distribution populations in Africa. So it's pretty easy for you to be able to conclude at the end because there are just a few words there. What you should not do is to use templated responses for describe image. In particular, I hear a lot of people, I don't know if you've heard of this template before or you're familiar with this. I hear a lot of people giving conclusions that are too generic. For example, they say, in conclusion, this graph is accurate and may be used for future purposes. I mean, it doesn't work for all illustrations. Like this one will help future generations of people. Is it an accurate chart? No. We are just given a map here, so sometimes what you're saying might not conform with or be parallel to what you're provided in the test, and so it gives you a lower mark for providing a non-original speech. And that's one of the things that will be graded right now in the PTE, your ability to produce original speech and your ability to give extended or long answers. And again, one of the components of that one is to provide original speech. So don't use templates when you're describing images for PT. That's not to say you can't use certain words that you can take with you during the test and prepare for ahead of time. I mean, words are good, but entire sentences or entire scripts or speeches you shouldn't use in the actual test. Okay, anyway, let's go. How do we describe this? So I'm seeing here Western lowland gorilla has the highest, population. I can see that most of the gorillas are distributed around the central part of Africa. And I can see that Eastern lowland gorilla here has the lowest population. So let's go ahead and start describing. Um yeah, let's see what we can do to describe this one. Okay. So gorilla distribution. Right. Um let's go. The map shows the gorilla distribution in Africa. There are three gorilla species compared in the map, which are the western lowland gorilla, mountain gorilla, and eastern lowland gorilla. Noticeably, gorillas live mainly around the central part of Africa, and of all of the three species of gorillas, it can be seen that western lowland gorillas have the greatest distribution in Africa, distantly followed by mountain gorillas. It is also clear that eastern lowland gorillas live in what looks like the smallest portion of Africa. In summary, western lowland gorillas are arguably the most populous in Africa, while eastern lowland gorillas are the least common. There we go. Pretty
Now
easy.
you understand. Now you understand why Sir Brian got perfect 90 over 90 in speaking. So let us hear your thoughts. What do you think of Sir Brian's delivery? While you are typing, this is what I have to say. No template or no prepared template can possibly describe the map or the information that is there in front of you. Because if you bring with you a template, a script, and you're just trying to make it too generic, then the computer or AI won't be able to understand this, knowing that generic information might not be appropriate with the graph or map that is presented right in front of you. So if you have heard that templates work, maybe in 2015, but guys, AI also evolves. It's 2024 now. The best way for you to make sure that you ace your PTE is not to rely on templates, but proper preparation. That's why AMN sponsors free PTE review and free PTE examination. All you have to do is to send an email to AMN Healthcare International to know the steps on how you can possibly enjoy their scholarship and sponsorship for your preferred English examination. So let's take a look at some of the comments before we move on to the next type of question. And we have reached the half of our Facebook live session for tonight. If you have just joined in for tonight, we're talking about PTE, all about PTE that you need to know to get your required band score and ultimately go to the United States of America. And by the end of the Facebook live session, we're giving away a prize, free AI powered mock examinations for PTE. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Karen Jade said, wow. Misha for clap clap emojis. Fernando said, thank you very much. Jade, awesome. Christoph, hands in the air. Why not hands in the air? Because Sir Brian did not falter, no stuttering, and he remained calm all throughout. No theatrics. He did not even shout. He did not whisper. He just described it in a very formal and academic manner. Isa, amazing. Jerry, three clap claps. Misha, perfect. Marilu, wow. So simple yet complete information. And again, no template can beat that. Maria Catalina, very clear. Millet, clap clap emojis. Eliza Ruth, wow. Carmel, short yet concise description. Noted. Yeah, because you cannot talk forever. There's only a certain period of time for you to finish talking, knowing that for PTE, everything is incorporated in 2 hours. So you listen, read, write, and speak in just 2 hours. What else do we have here? Rachel, amazing. And thank you for sharing your knowledge about PTE. Carmel, may my brain function that fast as well, because apparently there is limited time for you to plan and limited time for you to deliver. Eliza Ruth, more techniques on describing image, please. Jerry, excellent. Edna, wishing to pass PTE. Chingai, no wonder why you got the perfect score. Trivia, Sir Brian did not just get the perfect score in PTE, he also got the perfect 9.0 across all the subtests of IELTS. Name it, from listening to speaking and overall band score, he also got the perfect 9.0 in IELTS. Tintin, perfect. Milka, thank you very much for the informative teaching. Tintin, very fast construction of sentences. So, Coach Brian, I have a question before we move on to the next type of question. Instead of memorizing templates, what do you think are the best preparation strategies for PTE speaking, especially that describe image portion of the speaking test?
Okay, so here's the fun part. I'm going to reveal how I did that. So, firstly, I don't like templates and I do not recommend them to everyone. But I do recommend that you take with you a few words that you can utilize during the speech to enable you to start your sentence off. These are your sentence starters. For example, perhaps when you listen to me, you've heard me saying something like, clearly, or it is clear, something like that. I can't recall exactly what I said, but I have probably said a few of those things that I take with me, like it is clear that, arguably, or in conclusion, or in summary. Things like those can definitely enable you to think of the sentences in your head while you're blurting out those sentence starters. You just kind of give yourself some time to think of what you're going to say next while you're saying those sentence starters. So yeah, you can take with them a few of those. Oh, I said noticeably. Yeah, so that's one. Noticeably, it can be seen that, it can be it was clear that, something like that. So you could take with you a few of those things, And that's going to help you to kind of think of what you're going to say next, because I mean, nobody's perfect and nobody's like so talented that you don't really need to take with you a few of those words. So you would definitely need to practice a lot, taking with you some of the words and mixing and matching them according to the requirements of the task. But that really helps a lot. It is clear that it can be seen that noticeably, yeah, those kinds of things are very helpful in the test.
So for sure, Sir Brian did not use templates because he can't even remember what he said. If it's templated, it's stuck in your mind. You memorize it word for word, but that's not how it works when you take the PTE actual exam. And guys, you have to forgive us if we actually forgot what we said, because Sir Brian and I actually morning persons. We wake up at 6 a.m., work the entire day. So now our minds are not too alert. So if we forget what we've said in the last few seconds, please bear with us. And we are not in our 20s anymore. So let's move on to the next type of question.
Okay, so the next type of question is a favorite among candidates. No, it's not. It's your most hated question type. It's retail lecture. Like, it's my most hated question type. I asked Sir Philip, one of our lecturers as well, who got a perfect mark in all of the components of PTE. It was his most hated part as well. And I'm sure this is your most hated part as well in the examination. So I have here a recording, yes. I think I do have a recording here, and I'm just gonna play it through the speaker. And what I want you to do is, along with me, I prepared a sheet of paper here. I'll be writing a few of my notes right here, and you should also do the same. Like, if you hear something that is vital information, perhaps you might want to jot that down, because that's one of the things that you can say during your speech. You're supposed to only talk for 40 seconds. You have 10 seconds to organize your thoughts right before you start speaking. But the recording is pretty long. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds per recording, and so it is very challenging for a lot of candidates to stay focused. We know that your attention span is not like 1 minute and 30 seconds. So it is a little bit of a challenge for many candidates. Okay. So, anyway, get yourselves ready, because I'm going to play the recording very, very shortly. Okay. Um, let's look at the exercise first. Okay. There you go. Usually in the test, you have an image that gives you an impression of what you're going to hear. And let's start the recording now. Hold on a second.
The shuttle was designed to be a space truck. It's a multi-purpose vehicle. We've done a tremendous number of different things with it. It's the most versatile space vehicle that has ever been built. We've used it to launch satellites. We've used it to repair satellites in orbit and put them back into orbit. We've used it to capture satellites and bring them back to Earth for repair. We've outfitted it with the space lab built by our European partners and used it before the era of the space station to do scientific research. We used it as part of our partnership with the Russians, which is still continuing, first as part of the Mir space station, where we actually prolonged the useful life of Mir by several years through logistical supply visits with the shuttle. And now, of course, we're using it to build the new International Space Station, which is a huge international partnership.
Okay. And then we have 10 seconds to panic. All right. So that's what we do, 10 seconds to kind of let everything sink in, and then study your notes. And then probably one of the tips I can give is, you have a lot of notes, and what you want to do is you strike out a few of them if they're not important. Anyway, I should start speaking now. Let's go. um The lecture was about the space shuttle, which is a multi purpose vehicle. The speaker said that it is the most versatile space vehicle that has ever been built. She pointed out that it has been used in a number of things, like repairing satellites, capturing satellites, and bringing them back to Earth for repair. And through the space lab built by the European partners, it is used to do scientific research. It was also mentioned that it was used in partnership with the Russians as part of the Mir station, and now the new International Space Station. There we go. That's it. So I told you this is the hardest part of all. But again, there's some things that I did there that helped me to kind of finish it. All right, so there you go. That's your retail lecture. Whoo, so tough. Okay.
Okay, so let's take a look at some of the comments. I'm sure you're thinking of something. We want to hear from you because remember, you have to get our attention because the most active Facebook Live viewer is going home with a free access to our AI powered mock tests for PTE. First, we'd like to congratulate Fernando because Fernando said, "Thank you so much, 9.09er. I'm an OGP reviewee and I passed my PTE to the United States of America. Congratulations to you, Fernando. Well done. Welcome to the United States." Marilu, oh my. Jade, wow, again, you nailed it, Sir Brian. Tintin said, "That's too hard. Hoo hoo." Well, I don't think it's too hard if ever there is ample preparation because apparently if you're exposed to it again and again, apparently you're only going to get better. So what we recommend is make sure you maximize 9.09ers AI powered mock examinations so that you get to have plenty of practice tests and you would know your grade. Sometimes if you ask a human being to coach you for PTE, yes, definitely the coaches can check on your grammar and vocabulary, but it's an entirely different story if you have AI or artificial intelligence to evaluate your performance. And it's not just any AI. Make sure this is the latest technology for AI. And the one that 9.09 is using closely resembles the AI in the actual examination. No wonder why, since we launched this in December, more than 500 PTE passers have messaged us saying, "Sir, thank you so much for the AI powered mock exams in the practice tests. Did we get confidence? And we registered for the exam because we know we're going to get higher than the required band score." Okay, what about the other comments? Ella, nice job. I hope to do that also. Mark Joseph, nice. Eliza, galing. Edna, wow. Tintin, that's pro. Fernando, you're welcome. Jerry, very well said. Moneth, nanonood pa lang ako. Kinakabahan na ako. But Sir Brian, what about nervousness and anxiety? I'm sure you as a
Uh-huh.
candidate as an examinee also felt nervous and anxious at times. Who doesn't? I mean, we are human beings, right? So, how to deal with nervousness and anxiety, especially during a retail lecture, Sir Brian?
For PTE, you would notice that the anxiety level would be a little bit lower compared to other English exams because you're not facing a human being. But in my honest opinion, the anxiety will never really go away completely. You will always have that mild anxiety, but you'll be able to manage your anxiety better if you practice and you have good feedback. So if you have, for example, coaching and your coaches are telling you, "Oh, you're doing great, you're doing better, you're improving," and that seems to kind of positively impact your mindset, when you take the examination you will feel a bit more confident compared to when you have not had anyone giving you any score, or you have not had like those kinds of AI utilities giving you marks and you don't know where you're coming from. Usually that's what causes you to be anxious or fearful of the test, because you don't know what's to come and what's going to happen and how you fare generally in your performance. So if you know that you're good already, you'll definitely be able to feel more confident on test day. And as Sir Philip would always say, he's watching right now, competence is necessary for you to gain confidence. The confidence comes with competence. So they're two very related things. Yeah.
Okay, do we have more types of questions for PTE speaking?
Yes, we have just one last type of question for PD speaking. But before I do get to that last part, because this is super easy for retail lecture, guys, you just remember that if even if you falter or you make mistakes every once in a while, you have to always pick yourself back up. And for PTE, it's more forgiving. So if you actually use fillers like ums or ahs along the way because you're struggling a little bit with what to say next, that's fine. You will not get penalties or severe markdowns for them unless they become fillers and you pause for an extended duration of time, in which case you will get deductions. But if it's just a minor filler like or I remember I said a while ago when I was doing my retail lecture, that's fine. You don't get deductions for that. Okay. Now, this is actually probably the last part of the examination and the most fun part. It's called answer short question, and it's just like your trivia. Yeah, it's like, you know, a quiz or game show, right? And so for this part, I will not anymore because there's no grade for oral fluency and for pronunciation here. You don't even have to describe your answer anymore. Like you just have to probably blurt out a few words or maybe a short phrase as your response. You don't have to give sentences here and explain. Just give an answer. So maybe in many of the exam questions you're going to get, you're just going to probably say one word or two words, and that's fine. Anyway, you can use the chat box, right? So the message box, go ahead and chat in your through the comments section your answers. This is going to be very quick. So let's go and start with our answer short questions. Okay, let's start with question number 1. Ready, guys? Let's start with this one.
What is the outer covering of a tree called?
Okay. So some people did not hear the question. But the correct answer is Bark. What is the outer covering of a tree? Okay, let's try one more, guys. Shall we? All right, so another one. I'm sure you're excited for more.
What is used to cut paper?
Okay. What do you think is the answer to that? Okay, right. So some people are typing really, really fast. Scissors. Or some people probably kind of hesitated. What is the spelling of scissors? Okay, let's move on. Thankfully, this is a speaking component and not really a writing component. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This one is a little bit easy. So let's try this one.
What do bees produce?
Mm-hmm. Wow, super fast. Like fast fingers here. All right. You want one more? One more? Okay, so let's try this out. Sometimes you're given a very easy question because you just have to look for the opposite word, like the antonym. So this is another example.
What is the opposite of hot?
My goodness, if you don't get this, something's really wrong. Okay, so everybody got that one right. It's cold. So that's easy, but don't lose confidence. If you can't answer the question, just give it your best shot. Just give it a guess. Maybe it's correct, maybe it's not. No problem. You get 1 point for a correct answer, no points for an incorrect answer. But honestly speaking, this is not a really huge contributor to your test score. It's like, the kind of question that just relaxes you after a very tough speaking examination, which is read the lecture, just kind of makes you feel a bit more inspired and motivated after a very demotivating component of the test, just to kind of loosen things up and get you excited for the next part of the test. But really, you don't really get a lot of points here. Okay. And those are all of the types of questions that you get for PTE speaking.
A big fat thank you, Sir Brian, for tonight's interesting and interactive discussion. Before we announce the lucky winner, let's take a look at some of the questions of our live attendees. How many weeks do you recommend for us to prepare? Well, for PTE, I'd say 1 month or even less. That's basically enough for you to prepare for your Pearson test of English. If you're planning to take IELTS or OET, we usually recommend 2 to 3 months of preparation, but for PTE, 1 month or even less. Arlene Garcia, PTE mock exams. Is it included in the unlimited PTE review bundle? So, I have two questions for you. Number one, are you a scholar of AMN? If yes, please send us a message so that we're going to ask for your complete name and your email ad and the discounted price for AMN scholars. But number two, if you are not part of the AMN family, and we urge you to start to sign your contract with AMN as early as now. But if you avail the review package on your own, we have three options, right? 1,500 for pure PTE AI powered mock examinations for 2 months. That's 1.5. If you prefer lectures and one-on-one coaching without AI, that's 3,000 pesos unlimited for life. But we have the best bundle, 4,000 pesos, only lectures for life, only one-on-one coaching for life, and the PTE AI powered mock examination. So actually, it depends on how much you paid. If it's 1.5, 3,000, or 4,000. Okay. Is PTE academic the same with PTE core? If you're going to the United States of America, it's PTE academic because PTE core is for Canadian immigrant visa. Okay. What else do we have here? Let's take a look at some of the comments. Okay, Neom Collado took the examination last Saturday in Baguio. Target score achieved. Thank you, Niner Dagupan. Wow, congratulations, Neom Collado. Welcome to your dream. Who else do we have here? Okay, Jade said, I'm part of AMN under Kinetics USA. So again, all you have to do is to send us a message. It's 9.09er English Facebook page, or you can also message me directly, Irvin Neil Temporal. I'm very responsive, but not at 10 p.m. Okay? Send us a message now. We'll respond tomorrow morning. I wake up at 6 a.m. and start responding to the messages at 6 a.m. Before we end our Facebook Live session for tonight, we'd like to encourage everyone to watch the weekly shows of AMN Healthcare International every Monday. That's AMN Academy, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. First and third Monday of the month, NCLEX related lectures. Second and fourth Monday of the month, English examinations are the foci of the partner review centers of AMN. Every Friday, don't forget, onwards and upwards. And if you live in the Philippines and you're looking for 800 pesos discount to your PTE examination, all you have to do is to email training@nineronlinereview.com or message 9.09er English so that instead of paying 13,100 for your PTE, we can offer it to you for as low as 12,300 pesos. So without further ado, the lucky winner for tonight is none other than Tintin Severo Emerenciana. She was very active from beginning to end. No worries if you are not chosen as the lucky winner because Niner does FB Live every day. Literally from Monday to Saturday, except this coming Monday, Thursday to Easter Sunday, no FB Live. But come Monday, we're going to do it again every single day. And you have to join our Facebook Live sessions because we give away prizes every time we conduct a Facebook Live. At this point, we'd like to thank Miss Milanes, Miss Lashana, Miss Jennifer, Miss Sinead. By the way, congratulations, Miss Sinead, the president of AMN Healthcare International, for winning that Daisy Award. So, thank you so much to everyone who participated tonight. More than 220 live viewers. Hopefully, you're going to watch the future FB Live sessions of AMN and 9.09er English. But for now, we'd like to greet everyone a very good night. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next Facebook Live. Bye.